Surprise! Yes, a huge, massive eShop sale has appeared out of nowhere for all regions, with a ton of these games going for the biggest discounts yet. This is a great opportunity to get some awesome games on the Nintendo Switch and the eventual Switch 2 while saving a lot of dough. As always, I got all the highlights that you need to know about, so without any further delay, let's dive in. Gimmick, otherwise known as Mr. Gimmick, was a wonderful 8-bit game from Sunsoft for the NES and the Famicom, featuring colorful graphics, a memorable soundtrack, and unique physics-based platforming mechanics. It was totally a gem for the system. Also, it is a freaking hard game. Thankfully, the Special Edition for Switch allows players to get more chances to beat the game through its quality of life features, like save states and rewind. If you want to show off that you can beat it without those, well then there's plenty of leaderboards the game offers where you can do so you can see how you can match up against other players. If you like 8-bit games, the NES era, then consider this a must-get at 60% off for the first time ever. Last year, Gimmick actually received a modern sequel, believe it or not, with Gimmick 2. It's a new adventure using the familiar physics-based gameplay mechanics from the first game. It's a pretty good game too. The gameplay from the first game really holds up with the new challenges. Of course, just like the first game too, this one will test your skills. But don't worry though, if you're a bit intimidated. There is a friendly assist mode that can help players who might need a boost. If you consider yourself a 2D platformer fan, then give this a go. Its physics-based gameplay is great and unique, and if you love the first game, then consider this a must-get as well. It's on sale for 50% off, the biggest discount it's had yet on the eShop. Roguelike shoot-'em-up Vampire Survivors is an addiction waiting to happen. At first glance, it might seem like an overly simple game, but once you get to play it, you'll become addicted to the gameplay. Each run consists of the player using their auto attacks while exploring and leveling up, and then picking upgrades to get stronger, which you'll need because the enemies will get more intense and more vicious as time ticks on. Throughout each playfield, there's additional upgrades you can obtain in addition to your level up chances, but hidden deeper within are loads of secrets to find, with many cleverly hidden. The game itself is already pretty cheap, but the eShop sale makes it even cheaper by discounting it to 25% off. If you want to pick up any of the DLC, and trust me, you will, it's all on sale too currently, and it's very cheap to get, including that Castlevania DLC. The excellent bundle of Enter the Gungeon and Exit the Gungeon is back on sale again at 80% off. Enter the Gungeon is a terrific roguelike game with bullet hell elements. It's a blast to play and lots of fun, and the sequel, while different, it's more of a platformer instead of a shooter, it's still a pretty good game too. Getting both in this bundle is a great deal. It's one of the best values via the eShop sale. Dawn of the Monsters is a really good beat-em-up game for the Switch, one that revolves around kaijus. Yeah, that's always a plus here. Players take control of the kaiju of their choice, and then proceed to beat the snot out of the enemies that are trying to evade Earth. As you advance, you'll be able to power up the kaijus to make them stronger. It's a good game in solo, fun as heck in local co-op. The game plus the DLC bundle is what I recommend to get if you aim to get it on the Switch, as it gets you the additional arcade mode, plus another kaiju to fight as. And it's pretty cheap right now. Actually, it's the cheapest it's ever been yet on the eShop, with a discount of 60% off for the first time ever. Double Dragon Neon is a good beat-em-up by Way Forward, where they took the Double Dragon series and gameplay in a new direction, one filled with lots of 80s charm, neon, and silliness. It works well though. The gameplay is pretty good too. I like that there's a way to upgrade your stats through replaying and obtaining things like mixtapes, as well as the inclusion of special moves and the tag team high five mechanic. It's a good beat 'em up game to pick up for the Switch if you like the genre. It's on sale for 47% off, which makes it the cheapest it's ever been on Switch yet. If you're craving some monster collecting fun, or just waiting on the next Pokemon game, then consider picking up the Nexomon games. They are solid, Pokemon-like games, and the collection, the Nexomon plus Nexomon Extinction Complete Collection, is pretty dirt cheap to get, at 75% off. If you like those monster collecting games, then you really can't go wrong with this. So CRESTA is a vertical shoot-'em-up from Platinum Games that is the latest entry in the arcade CRESTA series. The game's main gimmick is the dock system, where the starships that the player controls can change formations, and thus change how they attack. The Complete Set edition thankfully comes with all the DLC and bundles, which add extra modes and ships to play as, and it's currently on sale for 50% off. Between the new updated pricing and this big discount, this is a huge savings versus what the Complete Edition used to cost, which is like $50 or so in the US. Konami has a lot of their great games currently for cheap. The Anniversary Collections, for example, are on sale. The Castlevania Anniversary Collection has a ton of 8-bit and 16-bit Castlevania games. The NES games, most of the original Game Boy games, Super Castlevania, Castlevania Bloodlines, and Kid Dracula, as well as it includes the Japanese versions of the games too. The Contra Anniversary Collection includes the arcade games, the NES games, and the 16-bit games in the same package, and just like the prior collection, it includes the Japanese versions of the games too. The Arcade Classics Anniversary Collection really is a shoot-'em-up collection, as it contains 8 arcade games, but 7 of them are shoot-'em-ups. If that doesn't bother you, then what you get is a good set of games here. Stuff like Twinbee, Gradius, Life Force, Vulcan Venture, and more. If you're a fan of classic shoot-'em-ups, then at its current discount, it's a pretty good pickup. For the North American eShops, each collection here is on sale for 80% off. The other regions strangely have it for 60% off. If you don't have access to the North American eShop, then you may want to wait for the next sale. The Castlevania Advanced Collection includes all 3 games that originally came out for the GBA, as well as Dracula X for the Super Nintendo. Really? That set of games is a heck of a deal at 50% off. The games include quality of life features, the ability to select between different regions of the games, a gallery, music player, and encyclopedia, which detail a lot of info on the games. If you like Metrovanias, then consider this a must-get. The Dominus collection contains all 3 Castlevania Nintendo DS games, converted for modern platforms, as well as a revamped version of Haunted Castle, the Castlevania arcade game. Just like the former collection, the 3 Metrovania-style Castlevania games are excellent and worth playing. It's back on sale for 20% off. Rocket Knight Adventures Resparked contains the 3 games in the series: Rocket Knight Adventures, Sparkster, Rocket Knight Adventures 2, and Sparkster. Yeah, I know the titles of the last 2 games might seem a little confusing, but trust me, they are 2 separate games. This collection includes quality of life features for the games, new gameplay modes, a museum gallery to browse through, and a music player where you can listen to the soundtracks. The collection is on sale for 30% off. This collection doesn't go on sale too often. In fact, it's the first sale since its launch sale discount, so I figured it was worth shouting out for those who have had their eye on this collection for a while. A trio of TMNT games are on sale on the eShop. First up, the Castlevania collection from Konami, which has the TMNT arcade games, the NES games, the Game Boy games, and even the 16-bit games, all in one collection, and it's back on sale for 60% off. Each game includes quality of life features, as well as some titles even support online multiplayer, a big plus. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge is a beat-em-up game from Tribute Games and .emu, and it's a gem, and has some excellent gameplay and plenty of callbacks to the classic games, as well as the 80s cartoon series. It's a joy to play, and it can be picked up through its Ultimate Edition on the eShop for 30% off. The bundle itself already allows you to save on the DLC stuffs, but with the eShop sale discount, you'll save even more on top of it. If you're hungry for more TMNT stuffs, then check out the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Splintered Fate. a relatively new, top-downish, beat-em-up roguelike game featuring the Turtles. That seems to be a good game. It apparently takes some inspiration from games like Hades, and unlike most roguelikes, it can be played in multiplayer co-op. The game plus the DLC bundle is currently on sale for its biggest discount yet, 50% off until April 28th. Super Crazy Rhythm Castle has you taking on King Ferdinand and his Rhythm Castle by completing rhythm-based challenges in solo or in co-op play. The challenges differ from event to event, but most require you doing actions to the beat of the music. This might seem simple enough, but the king in the castle will often force you to overcome obstacles in order to do this. Stuff like sorting items, dealing with enemies, removing obstructions, and dealing with switching with your teammates. Stuff like that. I actually found this to be pretty fun, and for 75% off for the first time ever, I think it's definitely worth a look if you like rhythm-based games, or you're just looking for a good multiplayer game with friends. Tales of Graces F Remastered is the remastered version of the PlayStation 3 version, which was an updated version of the Wii game original. Yeah, you got all that? Okay, silliness aside, this is a really good entry in the Tales series, with some pretty good gameplay. The remastered edition here improves upon the visuals, but it also adds a number of quality of life improvements to make this the best version of the game yet. It gets its first discount on the eShop, as well as making it the cheapest I've seen it for the Switch yet. It's 25% off until April 28th. Freedom Wars was a bit of a gem for the PlayStation Vita, that in a lot of ways hits a bit of the same notes that the Monster Hunter games do, especially with the multiplayer co-op that the game has going on. It's a lot of fun. I'm glad it's finally free from the PlayStation Vita prison, the newly remastered version available for consoles like the Switch. This edition includes remastered graphics, of course, but it also adds new difficulty options and an overhauled crafting system. It gets its first discount ever on the eShop, knocking 30% off the MSRP price. Those who like deck building and RPGs, as well as some anime cuteness, should check out a little game called Yohane the Parhelion, NUMAZU in the Mirage. It's a pretty easy game to get into, it's got some sharp graphics, and it's pretty fun to play. I liked what I played via the demo on the eShop. It's on sale for the cheapest it's been yet, 50% off for the first time ever via the latest eShop sale. Sonic Origins Plus finally gets a deep discount, 60% off for the first time ever, making it the cheapest it's ever been on Switch. This expanded collection, of course, includes the remasters of the first 4 platformers of the Sonic series, Sonic 1, 2, CD, and Sonic 3 and Knuckles, but in addition to that, being the Plus version, it includes 12 Sonic Game Gear games. Of course, it also includes new content and unlockables for the games. It's a good retro collection that has been made pretty cheap via the latest eShop sale. Speaking of Sega classics, I always like to give a shout out when the Sega Ages games go on sale. These should be 70% off in each region. There's a lot of good gems in the series, like Phantasy Star, Outrun, Retro Racing, and the Pure games. And each game comes with a bunch of features and goodies to make these editions some of the best ways to play these classics. The wonderful JRPG Persona games are on sale again, this time for cheaper than they ever been before. Persona 3 Portable is on sale for 50% off, as is Persona 4 Golden. That's a pretty darn good deal for those 2 classic games. Persona 5 Royal gets its biggest discount on the eShop, 65% off the MSRP price. I consider Persona 5 to be one of the best JRPGs on the Switch. It's absolutely worth getting at that discount. Just make sure to set aside some serious time for it. It'll take you at least 100 hours to see the end in that game. Crow Country is an old school style survival horror game that does well with its creepy vibes and narrative echoing those horror classics from yesteryear. This one has you exploring an abandoned theme park or trying to survive and of course solving puzzles along the way. It's been pretty well received by horror fans. It's currently on sale for its biggest discount yet, 30% off. Tormented Souls is another horror game inspired by horror classics, mainly the Resident Evil and Silent Hill games. This is a creepy as heck horror game that's very well done in my view. Just like the previous game, you're going to need to survive while solving puzzles, and there's a huge emphasis on item management too. Miss the old days of horror games? Then check out Tormented Souls. It's a great way to relive those days. It's on sale for its lowest price yet, 85% off, which is a freaking steal. Finally, there's White Day, a labyrinth named Skull, a modern remake of the classic Korean survival horror game. It has you exploring a school at night that is seemingly haunted or cursed. It's a pretty good Asian horror game, another one with plenty of spooks and scares. It's on sale for 75% off, its biggest discount ever. Brutal horror-themed Metroidvania, Blasphemous is a treat for fans of action platformer games, especially those who crave a bit of challenge. In this game, players take control of the penitent one, who sets out on a pilgrimage. As him, you'll need to take on horrific entities and bosses alike, while trying to find ways to get stronger. Unlike most Metroidvanias, the combat here has a big focus on blocking, dodging, parrying, and more importantly, counterattacking enemies' attacks. You gotta learn when to time things right in order to survive, which means this game has a bit of similarities, in a way, to the Souls series, beyond just the horror-themed aesthetics. It's a good game, it's earned some good praise and reviews, and for those who want to check it out on Switch, their latest eShop sale makes it the cheapest it's ever been, a 80% off discount. That means it's just $4.99 here in the States. An excellent deal for this. The sequel, Blasphemous 2, picks up right where the first one ends in the story, with an even bigger adventure than before. More combat and options for the player, more items and weapons, just more of everything. It's a much bigger game than the first one, though just as challenging, if not more so. The gameplay is satisfying and intense. It's a great game, an excellent Metroidvania, and one worth playing if you're a fan of the genre. If you like the first game, then you're gonna love the second one. You can get the game with the latest expansion that adds a new quest, content, and a new ending for the game in a bundle for 40% off for the first time ever. This saves you a lot versus buying the game and DLC separate. At first glance, Berserk Boy looks like another Mega Man style game, but what sets this apart is the speed. It's a really fast-paced game. You'll still need to attack enemies, platform, take on bosses and all that, but it's all done at a snappier speed and tempo. One of the core mechanics in Berserk Boy is centered around chaining combos and attacks, all to fill your Berserk meter, and once it's filled, you can activate it to perform special attacks. You can earn upgrades to improve your abilities too, just like you expect. It's a good game, and if you like the Mega Man X style games, the Azure Gunboat series, stuff like that, then this is definitely worth a look. It'll be up your alley. I like what this game has, and hopefully it leads to an expanded series. It's on sale for the first time ever at 40% off on the eShop until April 24th. Racing game Burnout Paradise Remastered is on sale at the biggest discount it's ever been on the eShop, 84% off, which for most regions means it could be had for under $5. It's a classic 60 FPS chaotic racing, and the Remastered edition comes with all the expansion and DLC content that was ever released for it in the past, and has the online multiplayer modes intact. Look, if you love racing games, car games, and have yet to pick this up for the Switch, then don't skip out on this deal. The price it's about as a no-brainer of a deal as one can get. It's baseball season, and a good baseball game to get for the Switch is Super Mega Baseball 4. The arcade-style baseball gameplay is easy to get into, but it also sports a lot of depth for players, as well as expanded online and multiplayer modes. For 90% off, it's worth picking up the Ballpark edition for just a tiny bit more, as you get access to the extra DLC stadiums to hit those dingers in. Musical game Trombone Champ combines rhythm-based gameplay with, trombones. Yeah, it's an absolutely silly game, but the game is a lot of fun, and it was a huge indie hit a few years back. play along to over 45 songs, as you unlock a ton of extra goodies, like extra characters, instrument sounds, and more. In fact, one of the big pluses for the game is the amount of unlockables. For us older players, remember when games had a lot of those? Also, there's a multiplayer mode. You can jam with up to 4 players, though I'd imagine it would quickly devolve into lots of laughter and chaos. For those who like rhythm games, I consider this one an easy recommend. It's 50% off for the first time ever on the eShop until April 28th. Venba seems like it's a game that is perfect for cozy game fans. It is a narrative-driven cooking game. The game follows the story of an Indian woman named Venba, as well as her husband and their child, as she tries to piece together and recreate recipes from her mother's cookbook that actually has been damaged over time. As her, you need to overcome obstacles that arise, like instructions missing from the recipes, to sometimes whole pages missing. You'll need to figure out how to correctly solve these puzzles in order to recreate the recipe. As you advance, you'll encounter a story about her family, as well as her past and heritage. This game got rated pretty well in reviews. It's on sale for 50% off until April 29th. The Legend of Zelda meets Studio Ghibli-like crossover, Baldo the Guardian Owls, is on sale for a huge deep discount, 70% off for the first time ever. This game a few years back went through a revamp, addressing a number of issues for the game. And there's been videos and articles out there that detail both the performance and gameplay changes. It's definitely in a better state than it was when it was at launch. The only thing I can say about it though, is it's still a pretty tough game. At times it's very Zelda-like, and yeah, that gameplay style is the inspiration for this, but at other times, I feel like it wants to be a Souls-like, and it might turn off some casual players, so just keep that in mind. Dave the Diver recently had a new DLC expansion come out, the Ichiban's Holiday Content Pack, and to celebrate, the publishers of the game have put the game on sale for a bigger discount than ever before. It's 35% off now. This adventure/RPG/roguelite/management hybrid game has a little bit of everything, as you can tell. You play as Dave as you explore the depths of the Blue Hole, adventuring in order to obtain fish for your sushi restaurant at night. So you explore underwater, finding treasures and fish while avoiding or dealing with dangers, and at night you serve sushi and manage the restaurant, all while advancing a story that links everything together. The demo will give you a decent taste on the flow of things, so try that first. But I found this to be fun for what it is. It's a good casual game with an eclectic but good gameplay loop. For those who do pick this up from the eShop, do make sure to pick up the Dredge Content DLC Pack. That is free on the eShop. The Ninja Gaiden Master Collection is on sale again, this time going for an even lower discount versus last time. It's 50% off now. This collection contains the remastered versions of Ninja Gaiden Sigma, Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2, and Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge, so was most of the DLC that came out for the games. Just be prepared for the challenge. These games are no joke in the difficulty. In a lot of ways, these games make the Souls games look pretty easy. While the sequel just came out not too long ago, you can easily pick up the first game, Fairy Tail, for a big discount, returning to its previous holiday sale discount of 67% off. This RPG has you playing as a team of characters from the famed manga series as you set out on adventures. Unlike most RPG stuff that Koei Tecmo puts out, you know, the Warriors games and the action RPG style games, this game is a turn-based RPG game with a bit of strategy to the gameplay, as you need to move your characters across the grid in order to get them into a prime attack or defense positions. The developers behind this game are Gust, the same team behind the Atelier series. Speaking of Gust, the famed Atelier Ryza games are on sale too, with the first 2 games in the trilogy having even bigger discounts than ever before. Atelier Ryza, Ever Darkness, and The Secret Hideout is on sale for 75% off for the first time ever, and the sequel, Atelier Ryza 2, Lost Legends and the Secret Fairy, is on sale for 67% off. The Atelier Ryza games are considered by fans to be some of the best in the series, with its revamped alchemy systems and improved gameplay, and the emotional stories and great characters the games have. And there you go, the latest updates and highlights that you need to know about. Let me know in the comments down below if you plan on picking up anything from the sale. And for those looking for Switch 2 stuff, check out my other videos on the channel. I've already gone into depth on the upcoming games for the system, as well as a look at the future of the GameCube library on the Nintendo Classic service, which I'm really excited for. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you soon on the next video.